Welcome back. We're talking about the assault of a security guard at Banex Plaza, Wuse, Abuja, and by the CCT Chairman, Danladi Umar. My guest today in the studio is a youth advocate. He is Oluwatosin Adebuji. Did I get it correct? Yeah, Sunday. Welcome. An advocate, youth advocate, and basically you rights advocate, youth advocate, and you ensure you move for the empowerment of the youth.
Yeah, definitely. My name is Adebuji Oluwatosin. I'm a youth advocate, a youth activist, and also a youth technocrat.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, before we go into you, let's hear who Danladi Umar is. Danladi Umar is a Nigerian jurist from Bauchi State. He is from the North Central in Nigeria. Prior to becoming the chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, CCT, he was a lawyer and a chief magistrate in Bauchi State, Nigeria, appointed at the age of 36 to the CCT. As acting chairman, Danladi Umar went on to become the youngest chairman of the CCT 4 years later. Well, Danladi Umar also is JP Justice Danladi, born August 19, 1971, Bauchi nationality, Nigeria, citizenship, Nigeria, alma mater, University of Maiduguri, known for human rights activism. Oluwatosin,
yeah.
You are one person that is also known for human rights activism, advocacy of the empowerment of the youth, and also rights advocacy as well. And here is someone who is supposed to be a custodian of the code of conduct, so to speak. He's supposed to be the principal of the code of conduct or the discharge of code of conduct, especially as it concerns persons of public authority or political office holders. Would you place yourself at par, or not necessarily by the influence that he has or the office that he has, but by the substance of the job or the work that you do in advocating for the people? How does his act meet you? How does it greet you?
Well, thank you so much for having me in your studios today. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the management of this Love World. I want to especially appreciate the person, the set man, that is Pastor Chris Oyakilome. I really want to appreciate him for what he has been doing for the youth of Nigeria and those in diaspora. Pastor Chris, I love you. Thank you so much for believing in the youth. Sequel to your question as regards Danladi Umar, with all due respect to his name, I feel perturbed, I feel disturbed that somebody of his nature and someone who has to be able to be a legal personnel could exhibit such an inhumane heart. It sounds aching to hearing. It is absurd. It is barbaric. It's as if those in government, they don't understand that they can't do things and go scot-free. Because of what? Because of their influence or their power. Femi Kanifayode did the same thing. Sabo did the same thing. Now, it is now the same man now who happens to be the CCTV chairman. For crying out loud, what are they being governed? Of what orientation do they have before coming to power? I can't place myself with the chairman of CCTV because I will never exhibit such acts. The forefathers of activism, the likes of late Ganifa Wemi, the likes of Professor Wole Soyinka, will never go out in public to exhibit such an disdain attitude with no apologies. At age 36, he was made the acting chairman. Was it by his academic qualification? Of what standard was Danladi Umar made an acting chairman? Just like what my co-activist said, Haisha Yusufu, with all due respect. I think those in government, before they are being positioned, I think they need to go for proper reorientation of mind and body and soul. Because it's as if those they have in government cannot be trusted again. Femi Kanifayode did the same thing at the end of the whole thing. He came out to apologize that he was not in the right state of mind.
Talking about apology, he apologized. Femi Kanifayode, talking about him, he apologized, but in what seemed to be a remedial, what we would have expected to be a remedial effort by the CCT. On Tuesday, now this event happened on Monday. By Tuesday, we had the press secretary of the CCT releasing a statement. And that statement, when you saw a statement, coming from that quarters, you naturally would expect that they are trying to remedy the, the situation. But we then saw an aggravation of the entire situation and like a conflagration from the substance that played out on Monday, where, like Aisha Yusufu rightly said, the boys who were calling out the CCT chairman at Banex were referred to as migrants, and some of them Biafrans, would rather, how would you react to that?
I think we need to go from the cradle.
First off, have you seen that statement?
Yes, I've seen it.
When you first saw the statement, what were you expecting? An apology or what?
What I was expecting should have been, one, addressing the situation in a code of conduct manner, not in an abysmal manner. To be sincere and pragmatic, without no apologies to anybody. The boys of the CCT chairman would not do other way around because they are his boys. So if they do the other way around, definitely they might be fired. So what do you expect them to do? I am giving you food and I have a problem. You will not want to say things against me because it is me that is the one providing the food for you. My brother, this is a simple game.
So where's the place of ethics? Where's the place of doing the right thing?
I said that earlier, that I feel that it should be, in fact, I don't want to say it should be, it should not be heard of that the so-called Code of Conduct Tribunal in Nigeria, the head of that particular parastatal is the one exhibiting a non-condolent attitude. So who? To a security guard of our household. I don't know the right word to use for this man, but I'm very sure within his right mind, after he must have exhibited that such, act, probably he would have come back to his senses and said, I could.
But the press statement negates that belief.
And thank God that it was even captured. Because what we'll have now is the government will never want to accept that they were faulty. We are waiting for what Femi Adesina will say now. The likes of Lai Mohammed, the likes of Garba Shehu, we are waiting for them. The press secretary to the CCT chairman has spoken. He has said his own. We want to listen to what Femi Adesina will say. The president is no more in Nigeria for now. He's on UK trip, medical tourism UK trip. Garba Shehu is here to read his own statement before we now have Femi Adesina. The one thing is very, very, very sure of that, they will not have their cake and eat it. It's not possible. They can't have their cake at the same time eat it. They are coming back to us for campaign. 2023 is coming up again, right? And these are the same set of people that will come and start telling you that we love the youth. Is this the way of loving the youth? The same youth that that the youth consists of 60% population in Nigeria? I think it's high time we woke up as youth of this, of this country, so that the so-called leaders we have, that with all due respect, they don't exhibit an iota of manner in their conduct in the public.
In other climes, a movement would have been formed out of this, and you'd hear things like hashtag Umar must go, you'd hear things like hashtag end brutality and all that in other climes. And in more senior climes, you'd even hear that the CCT chairman is choosing to resign for such a thing. In the first instance, you wouldn't have a CCT chairman engage in such an act. But in the instance where it occurs, you'd have him come out, not only apologize, probably resign. But what would you call for at this time?
The first thing I feel should be done is that the Code of Conduct Tribunal should be suspended while the matter is being investigated. That should be the first, because there were proofs from...
As a custodian of the office.
Yes.
So it proves that. It also, how do you call it, indicts his office.
Definitely. The first thing that should be done at this point now should be the chairman of Code of Conduct Tribunal should be suspended while the matter is being investigated. Because there are proofs that he was the one that executed the act. And by law, when you have a matter under investigation, there should be suspension. Yes, he should not perform his duty as the chairman. Because performing his duty as the chairman is parallel to what he will be championing as the chairman there. In fact, I want to ask a question. If another government official has executed that act, and that kind of person is being brought to Code of Conduct Tribunal, how would he be tried? By him, the chairman himself. Let alone he himself now exhibiting such. Aisha Yusufu has said it all. The act exhibited by Danladi Umar is barbaric. It is inhumane. It should be exhibited by let me the word to use if I will borrow it from you.
I wish I know one.
By those who have not passed through the four walls of university. This is not even about university level.
Let alone
it's about personality.
The chairman of the CCT.
Not to not talk of the chairman of Code of Conduct Tribunal. If somebody of his nature could do that, then what is the conduct in Nigeria? National Retention Agency, what are you doing?
How do you think this looks before the international communities?
My brother, you're asking me a rhetorical question. Definitely, we are building our personality, our image, using Dr. Okoje-Iweala. At the same time, we are now amping it down again. Yes, the only person now we are celebrating now in Nigeria now is DG of WTO. But with this act now that has gone viral now, can we attest to the fact that of a truth, an average Nigerian in the political space can beat his chest or her chest and say, yes, I have this personality image? There is nothing. See, this is a program that the government themselves, they should also be able to listen to it them. Umar Danladi should be suspended while investigation is going on. Abo, the House of Rep member, did his own in a toy shop. Abused a female attendant. And at the end of the whole thing, what was the end of the whole thing? They used the power, brutalizing humans like them.
So it's the same power you're saying the youth should have and go to the polls in 2023 and change the narrative.
Let's be sincere. The youth are tired of recycling the same political bigots we are having in Nigeria.